There is a water on the field.
A duck? Are you ducking me?
Right?
Ducks on the field. Release the quacking.
Did you hear?
Soccer fans, welcome into Zions Bank Stadium for this Labor Day matchup between San Antonio FC and the Real Monarchs. Both sides coming on in different territory. San Antonio just outside the playoff picture, sitting in that 9th spot, but only a few points away. The Monarchs in first place, but still trying to solidify that. As we get started tonight, things should be interesting, David. Let's jump into some of this. Both sides, like we mentioned, really in different spots, but really still battling for that 3 points.
Definitely. You got the Monarchs, who are in first place in the West right now, that are trying to prove that they belong there. You got San Antonio, who is 3 points outside of the playoff race, and they're trying to prove they belong in the playoff race. So it's going to be a really, interesting matchup tonight to see, the Monarchs proving that they're the top dog and San Antonio proving that they belong.
And the last time these two teams met was down in San Antonio, with San Antonio taking the 4-2 victory. So I think the Monarchs feel like they have something to prove. Come out and see if they can get some revenge.
Definitely. It's been quite some time since the Monarchs have won against San Antonio, so they definitely have something to come out tonight and prove, not only, to themselves, to fans, to the whole USL in general. They have to come out and prove, hey, we've had a mental block against this team the last few years, but you know what? That's behind us now. We're #1 in the West. We're fighting for that top seed, and we're going to prove that we belong there tonight.
And that's a challenge sometimes for teams to be able to prove that. And on the opposite side, you have San Antonio, who's hungry to see if they can get the sweep of the Monarchs and get their 2nd straight victory here in the state of Utah.
Definitely. Like I said before, they want to prove they belong in the playoff race. Recently they've been a very good team. They've always been in the playoffs in the USL. But this year, for whatever reason it is, they're not in that playoff race at this moment. So they have to prove to everybody that they belong. And that's going to be, coming in a place like this, that's a real test. And if they can get points from this place, that's going to really send a sign out to the whole league.
And especially in the form the Monarchs have been in, unbeaten at home here in 2018. It's a tough place to play here at Zions Bank Stadium. But if there's one team feeling confident tonight, it has to be San Antonio.
Exactly. They haven't lost against the Monarchs recently. They've been very good against them. And sometimes that's just the way it is, in the USL. Teams struggle against other teams.
And we'll check out the starting lineup from the visiting San Antonio FC.
They're lacking a little bit in the starters that they've usually had. They have a lot of MLS experience. But, one guy we really have to watch out for is Everett Guzman, number 99. He's playing up top for them. He is their leading goal scorer on the year. He's an extremely dynamic player, so you're going to watch him trying to get in behind our defense all night long. Another guy that you're going to have to watch for is Mikey Lopez. He's had MLS experience. He's played at the top level, so you're going to really have to watch what he does and how he connects the defense to the attacking three tonight. And then the other guy that they have to watch for is Omar Gordon. He's a Jamaican international that just got called up to the full team for them, and he's extremely dangerous. And he's the guy that in certain situations you always have to know where he is, because he can make anything happen at any time.
And this, is a solid side from San Antonio. In back, Cardoni and done a phenomenal job all season long. San Antonio with 5 clean sheets on the season, and 1 is under his name. And let's check out the starters for the Monarchs.
As usual, you have Chandler Huffman up top. We talked about him last game, and you know what? He almost went for the Monarchs record with a hat trick last week. Can he make the same impact he made last time? He's the kind of guy that, he might not do anything for 89 minutes, but that 1 minute that you don't pay attention to him, he makes you pay. And then also, we talked about it before, Michael Chang. He was extremely dangerous last game. It was his first game back from injury. Can he have the same impact on this game that he did in the last game for them? And then you always have Kalen Ride leading that back line. He's experienced. He's a leader. He's a man back there. Can he marshal that back line and keep a 0 like he did in the last game against the Galaxy?
And he's one of those guys that, as of recent, has done a phenomenal job playing multiple positions. He's played outside back this season, also played center back, and has 4 goals to his name.
Right, he's done a little bit of everything for this Monarchs team. He's a leader. He's a defender. He's dangerous on set pieces, which is what you want from one of your best defenders. And he's that guy that when he's in that back 4, he really gives them confidence. He's that kind of guy that when he's back there, you're like, all right, tonight we're not getting scored on, because he's there. He's going to lead us. And then you're just like, what? It's 0-0, 88th minute. We have a free kick, and you're like, you know what? Kalen's going to get on the end of this one, because he's done that all year for the Monarchs.
And one of the things to watch for with this Monarchs back line is we've seen some challenges when the team gets pressed here at home, especially that back line. It's been a little bit more difficult to keep the shutouts.
Exactly. The Monarchs, when they're at home, they're used to teams sitting back. You know, it's hot. It's altitude. Teams don't want to come out and press because it's going to waste their energy. So when the Monarchs are pressed tonight, can they keep possession of the ball? Can they stay calm under pressure? That's the sign of a #1 seed in the West.
And the Monarchs hope to stay atop that #1 seed as we're almost underway here at Zions Bank Stadium. Thanks for tuning in on ESPN Plus and joining us tonight. David Horst, Landon Southwick on the call. And you know what? Like we mentioned, it's a fun Labor Day evening here in Salt Lake. Temperatures are still warm in the high or mid-80s for tonight. Sun setting to the west. Monarchs in their claret and cobalt kits. San Antonio in their all whites. Monarchs going to be moving from right to left.
I kind of like these San Antonio kits. They're very sharp, aren't they?
I love them. I'm a big fan. And this San Antonio side, like we mentioned, is a dangerous side. I think they're one of the tougher matchups that the Monarchs have. And, you know, I would say this and say this pretty confidently. I would imagine that we see San Antonio in the Western Conference playoffs, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're the 8 seed playing the #1 seed, the Monarchs.
That's very true. It could, that could possibly happen. So this game tonight could be a playoff matchup for both teams.
We're underway here at Zions Bank Stadium. Seth. Forward to Gordon.
Good pressure from the Monarchs to start this game. They're letting San Antonio know, hey, this is our field. It's going to be a long night for you guys. The pressure immediately to force San Antonio to kick the ball out. That's how you like to see a team start a game.
Boberg with the throw-in just at the midfield stripe. Put it up over top. No one really there. Adams will apply a slight amount of pressure. Gordon tries to bring it down with his chest.
There's that experience I was talking about from Kalen Ryan at the start of this game, that it was a direct header to a teammate. It wasn't just a header to clear the ball. He was keeping possession, and that's the experience you need from the back line.
Forward. Hurd's going to settle it over to Adams. Adams playing that attacking role in the position of Sebastian Velasquez, who again is missing a game due to his calf injury.
You know, that's what I would have talked about this in pregame, is the relationship between Charlie Adams and Chandler Hoffman. They had a great relationship last game. When you saw that ball played in the Chandler and laid off to Charlie, you know, you saw that, and I think it was the second or third goal for the Monarchs last time was the Charlie Adams goal, which was the great relationship between those two, which is what you want between your #9 and your #10.
Foul on Hurd as he takes down Pekka, a name that might be familiar with Real Salt Lake fans. He was with Real Salt Lake for a period of time. Ball out wide, Cochran running the channel. That'll be too far in front of him, and it'll be out for a throw-in.
These teams that come in from sea level, they don't realize how far that ball will carry when they play those balls in behind. And that's something that San Antonio is going to have to adjust as the game goes on. They have to take a little bit off those long balls so they hold up for their forwards to get on the end of.
Be another throw-in for the Monarchs. Decent crowd on hand here for Labor Day soccer.
I think this is a great crowd for a holiday weekend. You know, people, you know, a lot of people have to go back to work tomorrow, but this is a great night. You know, bring the kids out, bring the family out, have a great time. The Monarchs play exciting soccer, so this is going to be a great game.
And a beautiful complex here at the Wasatch Legion in the north end of the stadium. Missing one of their infamous guys today, Mr. Tifo himself, but they're the Tifos up, hanging up.
They're all there. Doesn't matter who's missing, who's not missing. Those Tifos are always there supporting these guys.
Ball played forward to Moberg. Nice little settle there. Back to Ryden. Monarchs, like we mentioned, 12-0-1 at home. Where their struggles come is on the road. 5-7-1 on the road.
And the sign of a playoff team is a team that can go on the road in harsh environments and win games. I've been with these guys on the road, and I have seen that they have that ability. But every single week, they have to show up when they play those games on the road. You can't take road games off. Sometimes they do, and you see it in their record. But can they bring that same intensity every single road game?
San Antonio 7-3-3 at home, 3-6-4 on the road. Jack Blake, he'll move forward. Looking wide to Chang. Chang's going to get his first touch of the match. Looking back stick to Hoffman. And Cardoni's there to collect. Decently promising attack there from the Monarchs as they try to get things going. Ryden gets in the pass intended for Pekka. And Portillo's going to try to pull the strings moving forward.
You know, we talked about this last game. Can we get the ball? Can the Monarchs get the ball wide? Can they play it into the middle and then get out the other side? That's when you start spreading the team out, and that's when you can find those passing lanes. We just went from the middle to the left to the back and now to the right. Unfortunately, the ball was just picked off by San Antonio.
Portillo doesn't get caught in those situations, spraying balls wide and getting it picked off. His passing accuracy is one of the top in the league, but that time he really telegraphed his pass.
You know, it's the first 5 minutes of the game. He's still getting his feet underneath him a little bit. So to make a pass like that, you know, it's understandable. If you start seeing that in the 40th minute and the 60th minute, that's when we're going to start having problems in the middle of the field.
Both teams still trying to fill each other out here early on.
What I just talked about, you know, we started with a throw-in on the right side of the field. Played it into the middle, played out to the left, now to the back. Can we keep that patience? You know, when it's this hot, when you're at this altitude, wear teams out. And once you can wear a team out, that's when, you know, they stop chasing. The defenders stop following runners, and that's when you start getting good chances.
Monarchs, one of their things that they'd like to do, like you were mentioning, is switching that point of attack from side to side, and you're seeing some of that so far. Trying to get it out wide to the likes of Chang and Hurd.
You gotta find those dynamic, dangerous players, which are Josh Hurd and Michael Chang. Those are the guys that are most dangerous for the Monarchs. And once you find those guys in one-on-one situations, that's what you want. Because honestly, in this league, I would take those guys one-on-one with almost anybody.
Ryden's going to take the reset for the Monarchs. Moberg still down, holding the back of his heel. You get a good shot there. Going to try to walk it off. University of Washington product.
You know, when people start holding their heels out here, that brings back some nightmares for me.
Let's not even go into that. We're going to keep this all positive. David trying to get healthy back from an injury. No boot, though, this time. No walking boots, so we're making progress.
That's right. There's a lot more room in the booth for us tonight. There's no walking boot taking up half the space.
The thing was huge. San Antonio with a couple injuries. Castillo, Elizondo, Restrepo, and McCarthy out tonight. The top three, Castillo, Elizondo, Restrepo, out with lower body injuries. McCarthy out with concussion symptoms. So we wish him the best of luck coming back from that. That's never fun. The head... Not something you want injured.
No, not at all. I mean, no injury is fun, and you always, as much as, you know, you root for an away team, a home team, or whatever it is, you see that injury lineup, and you wish those guys luck in making their recovery.
Monarchs likely mentioned Diosa and Sebastian Velasquez out for the Monarchs tonight.
And, you know, Velasquez is one of those guys they need to get healthy as they make this push for that #1 spot in the West, and as they start, you know, getting ready to prepare for the playoffs.
Ball forward, Chang applying pressure. Cochran's going to play it out, and it'll be a throw-in on the far side for the Monarchs. Just in front of the AR, Callie Smith. Ball around. Nice little through ball there to Chang, but it'll be cut off by San Antonio. It'll be a throw-in again for the Monarchs. Williams getting a start tonight in the place of Andrew Brody, who is on the bench, but wasn't feeling great during the week.
Yeah, but I think Reese is more than capable in stepping in and filling this role. Once again, like I said before, I've played with this guy. I've seen what he can do, and he more than, you know, he has that ability to fill in when needed.
And he gets the go tonight for the Monarchs.
And I actually have a really funny story about Reese that I have to tell you. When the Monarchs started practicing with the first team this year, he introduced himself to me, and I could have sworn that his name was Jimmy. And for the next 3 weeks, I called this man Jimmy, and he never corrected me. And then one day, somebody else walked up, and they said, hey, his name's Reese. Stop calling him Jimmy. And I was like, are you serious?
Well, Jimmy's out on the right side today. We'll start it back up. Moberg. It's an offsides on Gordon, and Moberg will reset for the Monarchs. Nice stepping of the back line. To pull Gordon offside. McCarthy had a promising run looking forward. All the way back to Adam Grinwis. Ryden. Looking forward to Hoffman. Flag still down. He's inside the 18. Hoffman tries to turn. Can't get around the defender. Darren Powell's frustrated, looking for the offside.
But that's the dangerous ability that Chandler Hoffman creates. You know, he's this kind of guy that you're not expecting him to run by you. He's not the sprinter kind of player. But because of his experience, because of, you know, how smart of a player is, he makes those great runs. Look here. He finds that space. You know, the outside back has been pulled wide. Chandler finds the space behind the center back and the outside back, and he gets into it, which is what you want from your number 9.
If that ball hadn't really checked up the way it did, I think he might have probably, that doesn't work, probably would have got a shot off in a situation like that. But nonetheless, it'll be a goal kick for San Antonio.
You just never really know what that ball is going to do on a turf that's been wet.
That's one of the things. A lot of people see this turf, don't get to see it necessarily in the pregame, but they lay a nice layer of water on this pitch, gets the ball moving fast as Gordon's going to foul Adams, and he's going to get a talking to as the crowd's calling for a yellow to be shown.
Oh, Justin. The Monarchs the San Antonio, they want to kick you. They want to be physical. They want to cause problems, and they want these players to react. And once a player reacts, that's when you have trouble. So I'm hoping to see, you know, just warnings here. It's the early part of the game. You know, the ref's still feeling out the game. The players are still feeling out the game. So can he give warnings and keep the game under control? You never want to see, you know, 10 minutes into the game, either team, home or away, go down a player.
Center referee Marcos de Oliveira feeling things out.
But when you're at the top of the league, you know teams are going to come in. They're going to kick you. They're going to try and frustrate you. And that's what San Antonio is going to do. As you see here, that's a hard foul, and that's okay. Hard fouls are expected in the game. I would not get angry at that as a player. You have to expect that. You're the top dog. You know, teams are going to come after you. Players are going to come after you. You have to keep your head. You have to prove you're number 1 in the West for a reason, that you deserve that number 1 seed. Keep your head. Prove that these things don't bother you.
And that's where Portillo has to be a little smarter in a situation like that. You gotta let things go sometimes. You gotta just continue moving. You're on the front foot, and doing something stupid in a moment like that is only gonna make things worse for your team.
Exactly. Get them back with a goal. You know, don't get them back with a headbutt, with a kick, or anything like that. Get them back by scoring a goal.
Darren Powell still talking to the 4th official, Jordan Downs, having a conversation with him. Hamas and Olave on the opposite side for the Monarchs.
You know, if I had either one of these coaches talking to me right now, I would probably rather be Darren Powell than Hamas and Olave, because I would be extremely afraid of Olave.
Talk about it all the time. The guy has muscles still for days. Hasn't played in a handful of years, but they're still there. Portillo, he's going to switch the field, looking for Reese. Reese is going to settle. Inside to Blake. Back out wide to Chang, defended by Cochran. Adams takes it, comes up off his arm, and I think it will be a handball. Good call by the referee as that one checked up into his arm.
That's just unfortunate. You know, that's you can't do anything about that when the ball pops up and catches your hand like that. And you see a little gamesmanship between Charlie and the San Antonio player right now. You know, having a little conversation, good or bad, whatever it is, they're having a little conversation. They're letting each other know, hey, I'm here to play tonight.
That'll be a goal, or a free kick, excuse me, for Cardoni.
You know, what you just said about Olave, I think it's great for him being the head coach of these guys, because, you know, it inspires these guys to be like, hey, you know, this guy hasn't played in a couple of years. He's our coach. He's in better shape than all of us. We have to step up our game. And I think that's a really good thing for these young guys to see.
He could still run the beep test and beat half the guys, probably.
I really think so.
Pekka tries to get it wide to Gordon. He's going to check up on the turf, and Moberg does a good job to win it.
You know, once again, what we just talked about, San Antonio, they're playing hard. They're going to let these guys know, hey, it's going to be a long night, and that's okay. Our guys have to keep their heads.
Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For all the latest Select products and special offers, visit selectsportsamerica.com and receive free shipping on orders over $50. That's selectsportsamerica.com. Pekka goes down. It'll be a foul on the Monarchs.
No, that's all right. That's an all right foul right there from Charlie Adams. You know, he's going for the ball. He's taking a chance to win it. Unfortunately, he caught the San Antonio player. That's going to happen. Sometimes you have to take those chances in this middle third.
Hedrick moving forward from his center back position, pushing it out wide to Cochran. Cochran's going to retreat and play it back all the way back to Cardoni.
Monarchs will take this. San Antonio is now 100 yards from our goal.
Gordon, nice running through with McCarthy. McCarthy's going to find himself in an onside position. He's moving forward, brings it down with his chest, trying to play it in, and punched away.
Great work from Adam Gridden was there to be ready for that ball coming across. And, you know, he was ready to pounce off his line on that ball. Sometimes goalies aren't exactly ready for that. As you see here, the cross comes in. He's ready for it, and he gets off the line before the San Antonio player can get there. That's what you want from your goalie who hasn't been tested much yet this game. It's easy for goalies to sometimes fall asleep when they're not tested, but he's been staying on his toes. He's staying alert, which is exactly what you want from a starting goalie.
Nice ball there from Blake, trying to find Chang. Chang's rushing on Cochran with great speed to cut that one off.
You know, once again, look at that. Chang's one-on-one with that guy. What does he do? He kicks it out of bounds. That's why these guys are so dangerous one-on-one, because defenders don't want to go against them one-on-one.
And you got to give credit to Cochran there. Been a phenomenal defender throughout his career. Hurd. He'll try to keep it in. Just on the touchline. Flag stays down. Monarchs will keep it in. Out wide to Portillo. Back to Hurd. Hurd. Inside the box, and Cochran smartly elects to put it across the goal line there and out for a corner kick.
It's a very good play by Cochran. You know, where else is he going to really go with that? He can't flick it on. He can't bring it down because he doesn't know where Chang is. He doesn't know where the other Monarchs players are. That's, you know, at San Antonio, you'll take that, you'll reset, get your feet underneath you, and now you have to put in a shift defending a corner.
Portillo tries to play it in. Seems like a little bit of a wasted corner in that situation. You'd like to have the service inside the box, especially with guys like Ryden and Plua coming up.
I agree, but you know, that was definitely a set-up play by the Monarchs that just didn't come off, and sometimes that happens. You know, if it would have come off, it could have been a goal. If it doesn't, the ball goes out of bounds, still the Monarchs ball, and that's okay.
Hurd, he gets facing the goal. He'll play it in the box, looking for Hoffman. Defended well by two defenders. Ooh, hard challenge there.
That's an excellent challenge by the San Antonio player.
Guzman. Good job by McCarthy to keep it in. Guzman, he'll go towards the touchline, defended by Plua. He'll take a touch off.
Should be a goal kick. And you know what? That's great defending by Plua, because last game we saw him dive in on a player. This time, he's patient. As you can see, he's patient defending him here. He forces him to the end line. He gets a foot on the cross, and it's not a good cross from San Antonio then. Excellent defending by Conrad Plua.
You have to give San Antonio some credit. McCarthy with a nice challenge in there to win and keep that attack moving forward for San Antonio.
It's tackles like that from an away team that wins games. That's what gets you points on the road, is committing yourself 100%, and he did there. I would have liked to have seen Kalen Ryan not dive in, you know, with a flying kick. Hold your ground, put in the tackle, and then play. You know, I think when he goes back, he watches the video of that, he's going to be like, you know what? You know, I think I could have done better with that.
Williams plays it in, and it'll be knocked off Cochran for the second corner of the match.
I don't think we're going to see a set play from the Monarchs this time. I think we're going to see them serve the ball into the box. You know, you got Kalen Ryan, you got Conrad Plua, two guys that are, you know, very tall and extremely good in the air. And the Monarchs have been extremely successful on set plays this year. You have excellent service from this corner kick. I believe it's Jack Blake out there. And you got guys in the box that can finish.
Blake drives it in, looking, headed away by San Antonio. Danger not cleared. Portillo and Gordon still going at it.
Hey, is he fucking kidding?
You see some commentary from the bench. Some words I'm not going to repeat, but I'll... Some frustration, though, still coming from both sides. Earlier on, it was frustration from San Antonio's bench. Now it's from the Monarchs bench.
And one thing I'd like to see the Monarchs do better is, you know, as San Antonio counter attacks there, you have to be strong, because on a corner kick, you have most of your defenders up in the box. So you either, one, have to foul, or two, be extremely strong and confident in yourself as you defend the counterattack. And the Monarchs, you know, they didn't do that time. Now they did not get punished, which is good. But, you know, they have to be a little bit smarter next time on a corner kick.
19th minute of play. Still scoreless here at Zions Bank Stadium. Monarchs undefeated here during the 2018 season. Last real defeat at home came at the hands of San Antonio last July at Rio Tinto Stadium.
You know, it's two different teams, completely different stadium, different scenarios. So, you know, you got to put last year completely out of the mind. It doesn't matter how San Antonio did against you. It doesn't matter how you've done against San Antonio the last few years. This is right now, right here is what matters.
Adams, nice ball to the back post, trying to find Hoffman. Blake settles. Looking for Chang, and it'll be cut off by San Antonio. They're going to try to run. McCarthy going forward. Moberg's there. And does a good job to clean that one up, stay on his feet, didn't feel forced, and took his time to get the ball out into a teammate.
And that's that experience I've talked about with the Monarchs before. You know, Moberg could have easily just cleared that ball. He could have gone in for a rash tackle. He kept his head. He played the ball back to Ryan, and they were able to play out of the back and keep possession of the ball. Now they're in San Antonio's defensive third, and it's a dangerous scenario for San Antonio.
San Antonio leads the all-time series 2-1-1 against the Monarchs. Wins coming this year, earlier this year in San Antonio, and last year at Rio Tinto Stadium, and 2-1 victory late with 2 stoppage time goals to beat the Monarchs. But a different side here from San Antonio. Last year were the shutout kings, the team that kept everybody really scoreless. This year, not quite that team, and sitting on that playoff border, but one that I think will be in the playoffs when all is said and done.
I agree. I think once San Antonio gets everybody healthy, that they're going to be a playoff team. You know, last year they got really lucky, and most of their team was healthy. You know, they had the top goalie in the league. And right now, he's missed a lot of games this year. I believe once they get him healthy, they get some of their midfielders healthy, that they're going to be a really dangerous team. They've shown in the past that they have that ability.
But it's nice when you have a guy like Cardoni to back up your Restrepo, a guy that's phenomenal. 2 great goalies. And you got to talk about some beard envy. I mean, I just have to throw it out. Man, that is a beard.
Right? It brings back memories of Matt Van Oekel from last year. Just, you know, he sat next to me in the locker room, and I think bits of food fell out of that beard every day into my locker space. You know, but, you know, seeing a beard like that, it's intimidating.
You got some food for later. Williams, he's coming around, opens up space for Chang. Chang thought about the shot. Hurd inside the 18. Defended well by Seth. Hurd sizing him up, trying to turn, but he'll play it back to Moberg. Moberg's going to take a shot from distance and put it up well over the crossbar.
You know what? Even though that ball went well over the goal, I like seeing that from James Moberg because it keeps San Antonio on their toes. You know what? Here's the left back. He's coming forward. He's taking a 35-yard shot. You know what? You know, maybe next time he brings that ball forward, we have to step out of our line a little bit, and that gives James Moberg the ability to find a passing lane. This time, all the passing lanes were crowded because they weren't expecting that. Next time, they're going to know he might shoot, which means they might step out and create those passing lanes. Sometimes you have to take those long-distance shots to pull a defense out. Great first ball win by Kalen Ryden. That's what you want to see. That's that experience and him leading that back line. You want to see your center backs letting San Antonio know, you know what, every ball in the air tonight is going to be mine.
Ball back. Plua, a little bit dangerous there. You would have liked him to play it a little quicker. Probably some more communication, but he got away with that one.
And that always comes with having a new goalie back there. You know, these guys are used to, you know, Jake Leaker or Andrew Putnam being back there. And, you know, I think Conrad Plua might have thought that Adam Grunus was going to come out for that ball. But still, he kept his composure and he made it, Conrad Plua, sorry, kept his composure and made a good play on the ball. To me, that didn't look dangerous at all because I knew that Conrad Plua had the play under control.
Ball forward.
That's it.
Be a foul and a free kick for the Monarchs.
We're going to see a corner here, you know, in a very dangerous spot for the Monarchs. This is where we saw Justin Portillo and Michael Chang connect last week. Can we see that same excellent service from Justin Portillo that we saw last week? His first 2 corners last week, extremely dangerous. Can we see that same quality here again tonight? And if there is good quality, can we see our Monarchs guys make good runs and get on the end of the ball? It doesn't matter how good a ball is, you have to get on the end of it.
Third corner of the match for the Monarchs, swinging with the right foot from Portillo, looking back post. Cardoni does a good job to own his box and collect that one.
Great play by Cardoni to come out and get that ball. Sometimes goalies, they don't want to do that. But he's got the power of the beard tonight, and he came out and he grabbed that ball out of the air.
Power of the beard. I like that. Make a correction. We've said McCarthy's name a couple times. It's Presley, Connor Presley, sitting in the midfield for San Antonio, wearing number 27, 1 goal on the season. Boberg.
Can we see some patience from the Monarchs now? Draw San Antonio out of their 2 blocks of 4.
Blew up. Back to Greenwich. The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow @USL on Twitter. That's @USL on Twitter. Still scoreless here in the 25th minute of play. Two quality sides. I'd like to thank all those of you tuning in tonight on ESPN's Plus, especially those of you tuning in from San Antonio.
It's definitely been an even match so far. You know, San Antonio's been dangerous on the road here, which is not easy. You know, can they keep being dangerous? Can they keep pushing the Monarchs onto their heels? On the flip side, can the Monarchs absorb that pressure from San Antonio and then turn that, you know, to their advantage and then counterattack and get forward and put San Antonio on their heels?
And one of the things that the teams have done well, like we mentioned in the pregame, against the Monarchs, if you want to get some points, find yourself in a good situation, apply pressure. And you've seen a little bit of that from Gordon, from Guzman. And the more you see of that, I think that's more going to see how the game's going to change more.
Exactly. All 11 of these Monarchs players are excellent soccer players, so if you sit back on them, it enables them to play. You're at altitude. It's hot out. It's extremely dry. When another team has 70% of possession, it wears you out. It makes you tired to the point you can't play defense anymore. But if you can pressure them 70 yards up the field, try to win those balls, you know, 30 yards from your goal, you're going to be in a lot better place. You're going to have more energy than when you win the ball because you're not playing defense for, you know, 2 to 3 minutes at a time. So I'd like to see, you know, San Antonio keep applying that high pressure that they've done really well so far.
San Antonio coming off a big victory in their last game, a 3-1 comeback victory over RGV in state rivalry. Monarchs coming off a 1-0 loss at Colorado.
It's the Battle of Texas right there between San Antonio and RGV.
And those happen.
It
those
really
battles,
does.
the fun down in Texas, one of the things, and potentially maybe some more fun, as there might be those teams in Austin. We'll see if there's a USL and an MLS team.
Pretty soon, Texas could have its own league.
Everything's bigger in Texas, right?
You know,
nice ball to Pekka. Pekka with a shot. My goodness, was that bending away, and a beautiful crack from Pekka.
What a save by Greenwood. He hasn't been challenged all night. He was up to that challenge on his very first play that he was really challenged. Look at this. That is not an easy volley from San Antonio. He made great connection on the ball. He kept it on frame. We've talked about this many times. Keep a ball on the frame, make a goalie make plays, and he did that.
You gotta love that. It was a hit, and probably the best opportunity of the night so far from San Antonio. For that being said, for both sides.
One, you gotta love the strike, and two, you gotta love that save. 2 excellent plays from each team.
Cochran wearing the captain's armband tonight for San Antonio. Hoffman on the other side wearing it for the Monarchs.
You know, San Antonio's finally got some possession of the ball. Can they keep it a little bit? And as I say, they pass the ball out of bounds. But San Antonio's got the Monarchs on their heels a little bit. Could they keep that ball a little bit, put some pressure on the Monarchs, and actually, you know, wear the Monarchs out a little bit? You know, do what the Monarchs always do to teams here. Wear them out. Make them tired.
And that's what teams really have been successful with the Monarchs. Getting an early goal and then putting them a little bit on their heels in the sense of putting that pressure.
You know, a team that likes to keep possession, they don't want to be pressured because they like to play soccer. So can San Antonio keep the ball here? Can they put the Monarchs under pressure defensively and offensively? You know, pressure works both ways sometimes.
Guzman Out wide to Cochran. Forward again. Ball looked to be playing by Lang. Lang on loan from Cincinnati FC. 1 goal and 1 assist. Both coming last game in his 2nd straight start tonight for San Antonio. Throw in for Lang. Forward to Cochran. It's going to take a deflection.
Good work from San Antonio here. They've kept the Monarchs pinned back in their defensive third. And that's what you need to do if you want to get points on the road. You keep a team pinned back in their defensive third. 1, they can't build out. 2, they can't really get anything going offensively. They can't gain that confidence when they keep the ball. So can you move the ball a little bit, keep them under pressure? And now you got an excellent chance here with a corner kick.
Lang, he'll play the corner. Looking to the center of the box, tipped over. My, oh my, what a save there by Grinwis.
Another excellent save by Grinwis. He's tested yet once again by San Antonio, and he is up to the challenge. You can see here, Guzman, or is it, who is it? Mike Seth gets himself open, makes a great head ball. He keeps it down, which is not easy, and he forces Grinwis into a great save.
Quickly taken. San Antonio have the Monarchs on their heels here in the last few minutes. Ball inside the box, just over the head of Presley, and Plua plays it safely out for another corner kick.
Great work by San Antonio, keeping the Monarchs pinned back. They have another corner. Can they get great service? And again, first corner, great service, had a great chance. Second corner, not so great service, didn't really get a chance. Now you have another chance. You got to make the most of it.
Lang played in with his left foot. Bending in.
Great service.
On the spot, and a goal by Guzman. San Antonio takes a 1-0 lead here in the 31st minute of play.
And San Antonio, they deserve that goal. They have kept the Monarchs pinned back here for the last 5 minutes. They've gotten 3 corner kicks. They've gotten a couple chances out of them. And, they made the most of their 3rd corner kick. Guzman got himself open. He kept his header down. He not only kept it down, but look at this. He puts it into the corner where Grinwis cannot get down to save it. A lot of times you see these forwards head the ball straight down at the goalie where he can make a save, but Guzman gets the ball down and to a corner where Grinwis cannot get down to the ball.
Lackadaisical marking, as you're going to see a second look at that from the Monarchs. Looked like Hoffman was caught late running to try to react to the on-rushing Guzman. Guzman gets his 7th goal of the season.
And you have a striker marking a striker there. And as what I would like to see from the Monarchs is, when a team's leading scorer is in the box, I would never want to see my striker who doesn't have any defensive ability marking somebody like that. So that's a hard mark for Chandler Huffman because he's marking the other team's leading scorer.
We cleared out by King. Darnell King rushing over to put that one up into the seats.
Can we see a response from the Monarchs now? They've been under pressure. They had some chances early on. They didn't finish them. Now they're down. They find themselves down 1-0. Can they pick their level of play up just a little bit more and test San Antonio some?
San Antonio now with 33 goals scored on the season. Still a -3 different goal differential, but improving that with that one. Blake looks forward to Chang. Chang settles. Takes a shot and a deflection. Adams tries to put it on frame, and Cardoni is there to make the save. Monarchs with a good reaction to try to find themselves to level things up.
That's what you want to see from your team. It's been 1 minute since San Antonio scored. Chang finds himself in a great spot. Gets himself, maybe not his best shot that he wanted, but Charlie Adams in the right spot to pick up the shot. But unfortunately, Cardoni's got the beard going tonight, and he made a great save.
Got 2 opportunities to try to keep his team up 1-0. King.
But that's the reaction you want to see from the Monarchs. They just got scored on. Sometimes teams shut down for a couple minutes, and they're like, oh, we just got scored on. Oh, no. But you know what? The Monarchs, they pick themselves up, and they challenge San Antonio right away. They're like, hey, you know what? You just scored, but guess what? We're here to fight tonight.
There's not many teams that get the first goal on the Monarchs, especially here at home. Moberg down again, holding that left Achilles.
Oh, don't say that word.
Try not to use it the left lower parts or upper part of his ankle.
Can we just stick with what San Antonio says and say lower body injury?
Lower body injury. I like it. Ball up over top. Guzman in behind Plua. Plua does a nice job reacting to that one, knocking it out of play, but it'll be a corner kick again for San Antonio.
You know, that's great work from Conrad Plua. He saw Guzman making that run, put himself in a good spot. You know, sometimes you see center backs dive in there and miss the ball. Now Guzman's in on goalie, but Conrad Plua, he was patient. He saw where the ball was, and he made a great tackle. Now, on the flip side, San Antonio's got a corner kick, which they just scored off of. Can the Monarchs raise their level, not give up a goal here? But on the flip side, can San Antonio once again find themselves in a really dangerous spot?
Lang takes the corner kick again. He got the assist the last corner for San Antonio. It'll be out for a corner kick. Waiting from that official call from the AR on the near side. And Lang's going to trot over to take his 5th corner of the match.
Those long balls from corner kicks are never easy to deal with. But James Moberg does a great job of staying with his runner, who was Omar Gordon. And he makes the header, and he almost gets a good clearance without giving up another corner. But unfortunately, San Antonio here find themselves in a dangerous spot with a corner again.
Lang putting it back post. Headed, but not completely away. Gordon takes a whiff.
You know, it's all right. He took a whiff, but you know what? He kept the ball. You know, sometimes fans, you know, they want to make fun of that. Oh, he missed the ball. But guess what? He still has it now.
Presley finds himself inside the 18. He'll pick up his head. Williams there at the near post. And it'll be another corner kick for San Antonio, their 6th of the match.
You know, like I just said, you know, the fans want to razz him for missing that ball, but guess what? He still kept it and found his team, or put his team into a dangerous position. Once again, San Antonio has a corner kick, which is extremely dangerous.
36th minute of play. San Antonio up 1-0 on a goal from Guzman in the 31st minute. Assist by Lang, his 2nd in 2 games.
You know, is it about time that somebody releases the duck on the field for us, or what?
Someone released the Quacken. Those fans that didn't get a chance to watch the RSL game against the Galaxy. There was a duck on the field for a period of time. Played more minutes than Ortuño during the game. Ball played in, header, and a free Mike Seth, but cleared away by the Monarchs.
You know, I think the Monarchs, they got a little lucky there that the San Antonio player wasn't able to get on the end of it, because that was an excellent ball.
I meant to say more season minutes than Ortuño, not game minutes. But anyway, I'll correct my own joke.
I'll just leave that one alone.
Reset for the Monarchs. Ryden. For the last 10 minutes or so, San Antonio really has been the aggressor.
Exactly. You see that, like, when Kalen Ryan starts bringing that ball forward, you see the pressure from San Antonio, which does not allow the Monarchs to play. Now the Monarchs are kicking the ball long. San Antonio wins the first. They win the second. They keep the ball, and the Monarchs are having trouble dealing with that right now. They're not used to teams coming out and pressuring them at home. And if you want to be a playoff team, you have to get used to that. You have to be able to deal with pressure at home, on the road, wherever it is. You have to learn to deal with it.
Especially since teams are starting to take note of that. As you get into the playoffs, you got to imagine you're playing one of the best 8 teams, and you'll have home field advantage. They're going to come in knowing that that's how they're going to have success here at Zions Bank Stadium.
Exactly, and as we go into the last part of this season, can the Monarchs learn to deal with that pressure? Can they learn, you know, let's play the ball out of the back while we're under pressure? And if they can do that, then they belong in the playoffs. They deserve to be the top seed.
Williams probably going to see yellow there for the challenge on Lang. Looked a little bit from that back angle. Surprised not to see a yellow. I guess center referee Marcos de Oliveira will check with Lang first before having a conversation with Williams.
You know, sometimes you just have to let them know you're still there. And Williams did that there. I like that the ref is not giving a yellow card here. You know, that's Williams' first foul of the game. So, you know, that's good. That's good experience from Williams. That's good experience from the ref. Hey, it was a foul. Let's move on.
She'll get a second look at that. Yeah, I don't love that challenge from Williams. Not really what you want to see.
You know, in the middle third, I think that foul's all right. You don't want to see a foul like that in your defensive third, though. Here we go. The Monarchs are playing out underneath pressure. As they get into the middle third here, unfortunately, they did not keep the ball. I want to see them, as they progress from the defensive third to the middle third, keep the ball under that pressure.
Watch highlights from every game of the 2018 season and stay up to date with news from across the USL on the league's official Facebook page. That's facebook.com/USL Soccer. Moberg will rise up with Seth. Takes a deflection.
That should be Monarch's ball. Moberg was out of bounds when it hit his head.
San Antonio's 5-0-1 when Guzman scores this season. Pretty good odds there from San Antonio as we're entering the 41st or 40th minute of play.
Look at this. The San Antonio keeps pressing. They force the ball back to Grunas. Now they get their back four up the half field. Now they have all 11 players pressing the Monarchs in their defensive half. Forcing the Monarchs into these passes that they don't necessarily want to make. You know, I think as the game goes on, Kalen Ryan's going to be like, you know what? I don't want to force the ball into there, and I just want to keep the ball a little bit.
Presley applies pressure. Ball forward. Some confidence from San Antonio. Out wide to Lang. Lang defended by Williams. Williams will take around Lang, and it will be shown yellow. And I imagine that's a little bit of persistent infringement. Definitely could have been a yellow card in that situation, killing a promising attack, but a little bit of both, I'm sure, there.
And I just said, you know, you want to see the fouls from your defenders in the middle third. You don't want to see them in your defensive third because, one, it puts the other team in a very dangerous spot, and two, you're probably going to get a yellow card when you commit a foul in your defensive third. I mean,
he held him up. It was exactly
100%. 100% that's a foul. 100% that's a yellow card. Next time Williams finds himself in a one-on-one situation like that, I'd like to see him move his feet a little bit better and contain the player. Force him wide. Don't dive in on top of your own 18. He's got that experience. I think he's got a little excited because he hasn't had much action tonight.
Opportunity right into the keeper's breadbasket, and he'll collect.
Can of corn for the goalie.
And a reset coming. He'll play it in. Guzman now the all-time leading scorer, tied with Castillo with 11 goals for the all-time lead in San Antonio history. Good accomplishment there for him.
Good for him. You know, San Antonio is a club that's had a lot of success. So whenever you can have an achievement like that, you know, you like to see that from players.
There'll be a foul there on Gordon as he takes down Moberg. 42nd minute of play. 1-0 San Antonio.
Look at this, 70 yards from the goal, and San Antonio is still pressuring our guys. They're forcing the center back to try to make plays. And as a center back myself, the last people you want to see making plays on the field are the center backs. You want your center midfielders, you want your wingers, your outside backs, you want those guys to be making the plays, not the center backs.
Gordon heads it out into his own bench. San Antonio's bench up, warming up here just before the half. Out again, another Monarchs throw-in. Monarchs bench still down. Yet to get up and get some movement going. Adams, he'll turn. Monarchs are going to try to get back into the flow they had for the first 25, 30 minutes of the game.
Exactly.
Williams.
You know, they started this game out excellent, you know, moving the ball really well. But as soon as San Antonio applied that pressure, the Monarchs couldn't handle it. Can they regain that composure and start to deal with that pressure a little bit better than what they have?
Hurd, just outside the 18. He'll cut in, looking in across the 6. No one on rushing as Hoffman was near the back post. It'll be another throw in for the Monarchs.
You know, even though nothing came of that play, I'd like to see that from Josh Hurd. You know, you got to keep the defense on their toes a little bit. Take them one-on-one. It doesn't matter that nothing came out of the play because the next time he gets that ball, that outside back's like, you know what? He might take me a one-on-one here. He might not just cross it in. So you got to keep that defense on its toes sometimes.
Blake.
Can he get the switch in?
Williams. Looks like that ball was going there all along. Williams will try to put it in the box. Off lane, it'll be a throw-in for the Monarchs. San Antonio trying to complete the season sweep of the Monarchs. Up 1-0 here late in the first half. The Monarchs just really lacking some of that creativity.
You know, they are lacking a little bit of that creativity, but they're getting frustrated. San Antonio is frustrating right now. As you watch them make passes, shoulders are going down, heads are going down. The Monarchs are getting visibly frustrated. And you still have 50 minutes left in this game. You can't get frustrated yet. You know what? Keep making passes. Keep making plays. If it doesn't come off, it doesn't come off. That's okay. Because the one time that it does, you will score.
One of the adjustments that I've seen made recently is you're seeing Presley man-marking Portillo. Portillo really not able to pull the strings that he normally does.
Yeah, and Portillo's that guy that connects the back four to your front three. And if you can take him out of the play, you kind of take your conductor away from the orchestra a little bit.
Bird. Back to Moberg. Monarchs will reset.
You know, when we talked about the beginning of the game about going wide, going into the middle, going back, going out to the other side, the guy that makes all that happen, the focal point, is Justin Portillo. And San Antonio has done a great job of marking him out of the game right now. Can Portillo have, you know, a little bit more dynamic movement about him to find those open spots?
Switch for the Monarchs. Moberg settles. We'll check back in the middle of the pitch. Looking wide to Williams. Williams kind of slowed up on that, not sure it was going to make it to him. We'll lock it back to Cardoni.
And that's all right. That's an all right foul from Josh Hurd. They're 100 yards from your goal. You're taking a chance to win a ball. It's almost halftime. It's okay.
No stoppage time here at Zions Bank Stadium. That's the half. San Antonio going to head to the locker room with the 1-0 lead.
And that's probably the best half I've seen from an away team in this stadium all year.
I 100% agree. No team has really come in and forced the issue like San Antonio did in the second part of that first half. The first part, not quite so much, but really kind of settled into that game and figured out that if they applied pressure, it would change the game.
Definitely. In the first part of the game, they were feeling out the marks. They were, you know, all right, what are they going to do in this situation? What are they going to do now? They felt it out, and then the last 20 minutes, they stepped up their lines, they applied that pressure, and I think you start to see them get some success from that. You know, they've got, what, 5 or 6 corners from it. They scored on the corner kick. Now, as you apply that pressure, not only do you create chances offensively, but now the Monarchs aren't creating any chances for themselves as well.
And that's 45 minutes of soccer here at Zions Bank Stadium. We'll take a quick break and have an interview with Elliot Fall here coming up shortly.
Very exciting. I want to talk to Elliot.
Will send the cross in, and what a goal by USL's leading goal scorer, Thomas Edelson.
Lancaster, and it's 1-0 to Louisville City.
Rio. Have not drawn a match as Langsdorff has found the back of the net and leveled the tally in the 79th minute, his 14th goal of the season.
Vega! Devin Vega shooting. Goal! Mendiola!
Big launch with the right!
Oh, Steinberger, second opportunity! Welcome to North Carolina FC! Zach Steinberger has tied it at 1! He has Dabo! Big try! Bingo! Mohamed Dabo!
Cross goal! And the goal by Bustamante, and Fresno may indeed sneak out of here with a point.
Hoffman outside the 18, shot, goal, goal, goal! Looking forward to Hoffman, goal! The brace!
Justin Davis, that's a great goal!
King steps up, creating the turnover, with the finish!
Nanko, save made by Pickens, follow save, and a devastating goal by the Bethlehem Steel.
It's in! New York have tied it up, it's 4-4.
Oh, Reedy saves it!
An impressive save!
Saved off the line, Lubin!
But it's swatted away by Cohen.
Derek producing a fantastic diving save, and it's Tyler Derrick again, who's had an incredible performance.
Saved by Restrepo! Not once, but twice!
Shot pushed away by Lopez.
Oh, and what a save by Marcinkowski.
He gives it a strike off Cardoni.
Arduro with the big shot and a great save by Newton.
And a save by Matt Pickens.
Great save as Eric Dick got a hand on it.
Fantastic save there from Laurel.
Jason Johnson, you've got to be kidding me. The shot!
Oh! Jesus Enriquez does it again!
And what a world-class goal that is from Didier Drogba.
Oh!
Kaczynski is diving stop.
Must-see TV.
Wow, look at Forbes keeping this alive in Vega. Staved by Restrepo, not once but twice.
Carroll comes barreling through. Carroll almost finds the back of the net, but it's swatted away by Cohen.
Loria strikes, it'll be a curler. Loria curls it, an impressive save by Luis Lopez to get that big left bomb.
Trying to push him out the way. Quinn looks more like taking. He does, and it's Tyler Derrick again, who's had an incredible performance.
On the right side, good ball, top of the area, slipped in. Here's Belmar, great save by Cardoni as he got a left hand on that attempt from Carlton Belmar.
Jason Johnson, Vega, Vega! Devin Vega!
Cipollani. There's time. Oh, Steinberger, second opportunity. Welcome to North Carolina FC. Zach Steinberger.
Mendiola. Shooting. Goal! Mendiola! From distance with a blistering equalizer.
Lancaster. And it's 1-0 to Louisville City.
Gallagher has to send it all the way over again. Big launch with the right. Another big launch with the right.
We're back here at the half with San Antonio leading 1-0 here on a first half goal, and really something the Monarchs haven't been used to, playing down. But we'll take a break from that and take an opportunity to talk to Assistant General Manager of Real Salt Lake, Elliot Fall. Elliot, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, of course, thanks for having me.
It's always fun to have Elliot in the booth with us. Elliot spent a lot of time this last year in the booth with us, coming on as General Manager of the Real Monarchs, still in that Assistant General Manager role for Real Salt Lake, but more involved with the Monarchs, I guess, last year.
Yep.
Let's talk a little bit about the week that was for Real Salt Lake.
Sure.
An incredible week, if you want to talk about one game, but if you stretch it to two, 12 goals in 2 games.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, hugely successful, you know, really 10-day period where if you include the Wednesday game in Houston and you just take stoppage time there, we got 14 goals in our last 180 minutes plus stoppage time. So it's it was a very exciting time. Huge results, very important for the playoff push and seeding in the playoffs and getting rolling on the last third of the season.
And from a management side, organizing, getting the right players on it. I know a lot of people had some of the concerns about maybe not signing that number 9, but there's something that's been talked about recently, that false number 9, and how wildly successful. I mean, Krylock, a hat trick.
Sure.
How do you speak to some of those things and maybe some of the changes that happens, but maybe go unnoticed from a lot of people?
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, there's obviously a lot of ways to play. There's a lot of things you can do, and true, we don't have that traditional back to goal number 9 out there, but we have guys who really have a lot to offer, who have a lot to bring to the table going forward. And like you said, Demir is one of those guys. I mean, Demir Damir's a versatile guy. He's he's played all over the field throughout his career. Hasn't really played as a 9
Mostly
before.
been that 6 and 8, right?
Sure,
Or 8
yeah.
and
Well,
10,
and he's played a lot at the 10, exactly. And so he's familiar in those attacking spaces. He's familiar around the box, all of that. And he's a big body, and he's a guy who can hold his own, with a center back or with other defenders. And you saw that on Saturday. Really was able to get on the end of some things and combine really well, and everything clicked.
Elliot Fall, assistant general manager for Real Salt Lake, and I wish we had more time. We'd go talking about a duck and how we can release the Quacken, but we won't go too far into that. Just know there was a duck involved.
Next time. We can get there next time.
But thanks for taking time to answer a few questions and talk a little soccer with us. We'll let you get back to your responsibilities and check out some highlights from the first half as we'll get those rolling up on the screen.
Awesome.
You can check out some of the killer saves, and that save that was made by Adam was breathtaking. So you'll see here the goal, or excuse me, one more big save by Grinwish. And you'll check out the goal here on this one.
San Antonio, this whole entire first half was dangerous on their corner kicks. They had 5 or 6 corner kicks, and they were dangerous on almost every one of them. Going into the second half here, can we get the Monarchs, can they increase their focus a little bit on these set plays and not allow these chances to happen against them as they go forward in the next 45 minutes?
Monarchs really with only one shot on target, and that's this one right here.
And that's one of those chances. That's a good chance from Charlie Adams. And, you would like to see somebody with his experience and his ability to finish that. But, it doesn't always happen. He doesn't always score. But next time, I think Charlie's going to bury that.
And both sides with 4 shots, but San Antonio with the perfect one on that to find the back of the net. And Guzman, and you got to speak to the way he's playing. 7 goals in 11 games, I think, is the statistic. He's now tied as an all-time leading scorer for San Antonio. He's a guy capable of finding the back of the net. What do you have to do as center backs, as the defensive third, that unit for the Monarchs? What do they have to do the rest of the way to make sure he's shut down?
Guzman's a dynamic, smart player. As the Monarchs go forward in the next 45 minutes, when they have the ball, can they know where he is at all times, whether it's in the center of the field, whether it's on the right side, whether it's in the left side, whether it's checking back, wherever he is, can the Monarchs keep an eye on him? Because he's really that guy that pushes the ball forward for them. He makes excellent runs into the channels. He finds himself in dangerous spots. As a back 4, you cannot turn off mentally because he's the kind of forward that can punish you if you turn off for just 5 seconds. And he showed that there on that corner kick. He shut down, or whoever was marking him, shut down for just 5 seconds, and Guzman punished us.
And those are some of the things defending on set pieces is vital when you want to get 3 points. You definitely don't want to be giving up simple goals like that. I mean, he was really unmarked, rose up, did a very good job to put it in the back of the net, but really didn't have to be superb on the way he got into that situation. He was
to be honest, it was a very wide open header for him. I would like to see better marking from the Monarchs on these plays. But you know what? Set plays, there is no soccer skill really involved. It's a 1v1 battle of you against the person that's marking you. And who can win that battle will win the ball. So can the Monarchs just step up their ability a little bit more in this second half and win those one-on-one battles on set plays? That's all set plays are, is a one-on-one battle with the person across from you.
And the Monarchs have some firepower on the bench, some opportunities to bring some guys on, but with the 11 that are going back out on the field, what do they need to do to throw this game back the opposite way?
Well, we kind of talked about for the last 20 minutes of that half. Can the Monarchs play under pressure? Can they connect the ball from Grinwis to the back 4 to the middle 3 to your forward 3? Can they connect through all those layers of the team? And if they can do that and be patient and keep possession of the ball and wear this San Antonio team out, then that's when you start finding those open passing lanes. That's when you start finding those chances happening for you. So can the Monarchs keep that ball under pressure and keep their composure and not make bad passes, not kick the ball away. Do the things that a team that's the #1 seed in the West right now, the things that they should be doing to win games. Right now, to me, the Monarchs don't look like that team. They're frustrated by the pressure that San Antonio is presenting to them. So can they keep their composure, play out of the back, play forward, and create those chances from a team that can keep possession?
Stats here in the from the first half. Monarchs 64% possession, 36 for San Antonio. Aerial duels won, 70% for the Monarchs, 20% for San Antonio. Corner kicks, 3 for the Monarchs, 6 for San Antonio. And where it really matters, goals, 1 for San Antonio, 0 for the Monarchs.
You know, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what any stat is. You could have 99% possession, but if you score your chances, you will win a game no matter what the stats are.
And we speak to that a lot. A lot of teams will come out and think possession, 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 but that doesn't always equate to those goals.
Exactly. Everybody wants to be a Barcelona. Everybody wants to be a Manchester City, but not everybody can be those teams. You have to find other ways to win games sometimes. And you know what, San Antonio, they did that in the first half. They frustrated the Monarchs. They scored their chances, and you know, they did something that a lot of other teams haven't done, and that's get a goal first here in Harriman.
Monarchs going to be moving from left to right or from south to north here at Zions Bank Stadium. Sun has set over the Ochre Mountains in the west. Beautiful night now here. Temperatures dropped into the mid-70s and a second half of soccer coming.
Also, can Justin Portillo find himself in a little bit better positions this half? He was marked out of the first half a little bit. Can he find that ball a little bit more and connect the back four to the front three?
One of the guys applying a lot of that pressure in the midfield, causing a little confusion for the Monarchs is Connor Presley. Done a good job tonight and maybe gone unrecognized, but I'm going to call him out for being very successful in disrupting some of the strings being pulled for the Monarchs.
Definitely. When you see an offensive player doing defensive duties, that always goes unnoticed because they're more known for being an offensive player. So I love that you're calling out his name right now because he really has done an excellent job in that first half in causing disruptions to the Monarchs offense.
Lang. Back to Cochran. Cochran's going to go all the way back to the keeper. He'll look forward to Lang. Lang tries to play it forward. Plua on racing. Kind of a backwards, weird, awkward ball from Plua. Grinwis comes out and plays it forward. Chang was in an offside position.
And that's okay. You know, Conrad Plua had the right idea. He was keeping himself composed under pressure there. And, you know, he wanted to play the ball back to the keeper and keep possession. You know, it didn't come off, but I like where his head is at to start this second half.
Luckily, that wasn't too dangerous. It looked a little more dangerous than it was because Grinwis came out and played it forward.
Hey, that's been a common theme tonight. Grinwis constantly alert and on the front foot and ready to come out for these balls, whether it's a shot, a cross, or a slow back pass.
2 great saves in the first half to keep it scoreless. Giving up 1 goal, though. Williams back to Blake. Inside to Chang. Touch is a little off. And San Antonio will try to counter.
You know, the Monarchs, they started the first half with great pressure. They didn't end the first half with great pressure. They've started this half with great pressure. Now, can they keep that going for the next 45 minutes? Can they wear this San Antonio team down? Can they grind them down to the point that they can get some goals?
Williams, he'll move forward, defended by Cochran. Inside the 18, looking across to Chang. It'll be cut off.
Great. Oh, it's very unlucky from Conrad Plua. That's what you want from your center backs, to be right up the forward's backside like that, making it hard on them to control the ball. You know what? Unlucky there that he stepped on him, but can Conrad Plua keep doing those things? Can he keep frustrating Guzman for the second half and make it hard for him to find those chances?
Big switch here from San Antonio, but errant. I'll go out for a Monarchs throw-in. Did you see the foul?
And, you know, I'll take that from my center backs all day long. Up the forward's backside, causing it to be hard for them to get the ball. Excellent. Kalen Ryan is under pressure. He finds that ball into the middle of the field to keep it. That's what they were not doing in the first half. And right now, at the beginning of the second half, they have been able to do that. Now they found Josh Hurd in behind.
Puts on the wheels. He's inside the 18. Shot! Saved by Cardoni. Really not much of an angle there from Hurd, but got a shot off still.
And that all comes from Kalen Ryan being under pressure on that initial pass out of the back. If he just plays that over the top, the Monarchs do not get a chance. And great save by Cardoni. Once again, that beard just smothers the shot.
Ryden will play it out. Presley was pressuring him. Misspoke a little bit in the opening segment. San Antonio in the 8 seed currently, sitting with, or excuse me, no, in the 7 seed, or in the 9 seed, excuse me, with 37. No, it was correct. I guess live updating now, I'm second guessing it in the standings, but only 3 points out of that 8 spot. And with a victory, we'll move into that 8 spot in the Western Conference. Reno's just in front of them with 42, and Swope Park with 43. Plua, he'll play it forward, trying for Williams.
Right.
Cut off by Lang.
Right idea by Plua, just didn't come off. Next time, you know, I think he's going to increase that focus a little bit. He's going to get that pass, but his head's in the right spot. They're trying to keep possession under pressure right now. So I like where his head, it's unlucky that didn't come off, but I like where his head's at, and I like where the Monarchs' heads are right now to start this half.
Cochran, the captain, will throw it in for San Antonio. 50th minute of play, still 1-0 San Antonio. Blake rises up, wins the header, settled by Williams. Forward, Hoffman.
Very good from the Monarchs. Keep the ball under pressure like they are right now.
Adams attacking, out wide to Chang. Chang's gonna cut in to Blake. Adams held on by Cochran. He'll go towards the touchline across the 6 and cut off by San Antonio, but a good-looking effort there for the Monarchs as they're starting to build their attack. A little bit unsure of that one. You saw it there as he second-guessed playing that back over top, played it a little wide to start.
And that's all right. You know, the previous play, he did not have a good touch. This time, he was making sure of it. He was making sure that he was going to take a good touch, and he did, which is what you want to see out of your center backs. He forgot about that last play. He moved on and made the touch he needed to on that one.
Adams forward to Chang. Chang right back to him. Chang made a nice run there. Wasn't seen quick enough by Adams, but Moberg will get under this one on the left side. Tries to get around the defender. Momentarily does. Plays it back, stick, no one home. Williams gonna rush on. He'll defend Lang. Chang with a nice back heel there. No one in position to receive it though.
Unfortunately, I don't think Chang and Williams have had enough games this year to have that chemistry to kind of make those plays right now.
Blake takes a crack. He sized that one up and tried to put all the mustard through that one.
You know, I like that from Jack Blake. He kept it on frame. Great shot. You know, now it's going to force San Antonio to step out of their back line the next time he brings the ball forward.
And you know, Blake's very capable of hitting that from distance. That's a guy that you don't mind seeing a shot from that.
If you're a Monarch player, you definitely don't mind seeing him take that shot. But if you're a San Antonio player, he's not the guy you want lining up from distance. I've been out to practice. I've seen him put the work in after practice, taking those long-distance shots, and he is more than capable of scoring those.
Throwing for San Antonio. Sometimes it's just about putting a little bit extra on it, like he was capable of doing as Chang was rushing forward. Portillo tried to find him, cut off by Cochran.
Great work by Reese Williams here to read that pass and stay on the inside of the runner. You know, if you bite on that first pass, that runner gets on the inside of you and you're beat. But Reese does not bite on that and makes a great play on the through ball.
Of mine seeing him try to usher that one across the end line.
And
but elects the safe play.
And that just goes to show you he's a guy that hasn't gotten, you know, a lot of experience this year. And all that is a lack of experience right there. You know, I think if he's had more games this year, he either ushers it out or keeps possession of it. But you know what? As a defender, you get that ball out, and you know what? You reset and you play defense. And you know what? I am not upset with the play that he made there.
A smart defensive play by Williams. San Antonio with possession. Cochran. Back to Hedrick.
Can the Monarchs get their lines up here and apply that same pressure that San Antonio's been applying?
King.
Great work by Charlie Adams.
Awkwardly going to come over, and an opportunity here for San Antonio, dealt with well by the Monarchs. They're going to try to counter here.
Great work by Conrad Plua there, because that ball skips off the top of Kalen Ryan's head, and when that happens as a defender, you don't really know where that ball is going to go. And Conrad Plua made a great play on that ball and able to get it back to Grinwis.
Big switch here. Chang's going to settle. Nice touch there. He's inside the 18, picks up his head, tries to find Hurd on rushing. It'll be over everybody, and Monarchs starting to get a little frustrated here in the 55th minute of play.
And you can see that Chang's frustrated with himself. He knows that that pass should have been better. He saw Josh Hurd making that run across the box, and he knows that ball should have been on the ground. And you know what? The more important thing is Chang is starting to put himself in those dangerous positions to make those plays. Next time, I think that play comes off for him, but you know, the first thing you have to do is even put yourself in that spot, and he's doing that now.
Monarchs very capable of scoring goals. 46 scored on the season, 29 conceded, a plus 18 goal differential. Can they find one and tie things up here at Zions Bank Stadium? Hoffman tries to cut back. It's going to win the corner for the Monarchs.
Great penetrating run by Charlie Adams there. Teams are so used to the Monarchs passing around them. Sometimes you need that player to make a penetrating run with the ball, and that's what Charlie Adams did. And it forces the San Antonio defenders to defend him, which enabled Chandler Huffman to make that run into space and make a play on the ball. Now the Monarchs find themselves with a dangerous corner kick.
Portillo's going to stand over this one. Watch out for Plua and Ryden inside the 18, just in front of the PK spot. Driven, headed up. Still inside the 18. Finally cleared by San Antonio. Only to midfield. Williams plays it out wide.
That's unlucky for Williams. You know, I think if he would have looked on the other side of the field, he would have saw Portillo. But you know what? He's the last man back. Don't take any chances with the ball. Play it in the space. Everybody resets, and you keep playing.
Cardoni with the reset. I saw a question on Twitter mentioning the supporters group. Wasatch Legion sitting directly behind the goal. Their tifos are up to the right of the goal. They're now sitting behind the goal.
Those are awesome tifos, by the way.
You gotta love them.
Right?
I even heard they might make a Jimmy one now for Williams, so might be the joke that continues going forward. Ping-ponged around. San Antonio with a nice little nutmeg bet there by Lang. Plua, he'll get under it, head it over to
There's
Ryden.
that composure that I've been talking about at the start of this half. Excellent composure, excellent play from Conrad Plua. Look at this. The Monarchs still have the ball. The ball was played out of the air, and they were able to keep possession.
Gets away from Plua. Plua pick up his head. Time, plays it wide.
This is the composure I wish the Monarchs would have had in the first half.
Portillo. Opportunity here from San Antonio. Presley inside the 18 takes a shot. Saved by Adam Grinwis. And I don't know that that was the best option there that he took the look. So there'll be a foul. And Hurd goes down.
Great save by Adam Grinwis here. You know, I think San Antonio, when they go back and look at this, they're going to be a little upset with them because Presley had the opportunity to play the ball across the 6 for an easy finish. You know what? But he took the shot, and it didn't come off. But what I said before is I like that composure, but you know what? Sometimes that composure comes with taking chances, and the Monarchs took a chance there, and they were punished for it.
And this is when teams typically find goals, when one team has been shut down on a quality opportunity. Can the Monarchs seize the day and find the goal here in the 68th minute? Blake's going to serve it in. Driven ball. Hits Ryden right in the face. Monarchs now applying pressure. Great touch there by Guzman. Gets it up over top of Williams.
Excellent work from Everett Guzman there.
Lang plays it wide to Gordon, and Gordon's in offside position. Lang's down, though.
I think he's more frustrated with Gordon than he is injured there. You know, he played a great ball to Gordon, but Gordon didn't keep himself on sides when they had the opportunity to get a good chance out of that.
Adams, nice hold-up play there. He'll be fouled inside the center circle. The USL's official Instagram account has highlights, photography, and interactive content with the league's players. Get it all at www.instagram.com/USL Soccer. Be a throw in for the Monarchs, just in front of the corner flag. Hurd will be there, but we'll drop it off.
Can the Monarchs keep this pressure on San Antonio? You know, the last 5 minutes have been great from them, but can they keep that going? Can they wear San Antonio down? Can they keep grinding like this and get better and better opportunities as this game goes on?
Be another throw in for the Monarchs. Moberg will take it. And the grind is what's happening now here as we start to get later in the match.
You know, we're an hour into this match. It's at altitude for San Antonio. They play at sea level. Can the Monarchs wear them down? Can, you know, it's hard to run in this altitude. You get tired, the mind starts going, the legs start going. And that's, you know, where the Monarchs can start taking those chances.
Nice ball there. Hurd on rushing. Tries to keep it in. Looks like it might have taken a deflection. It'll be another corner kick for the Monarchs. Their third of the second half and sixth of the match. Substitution coming here momentarily. Monarchs going to bring on Andrew Brody. I would imagine it'd be a like-for-like substitution with Williams.
I would assume so.
Just because of the yellow card.
Exactly.
Portillo serves this one and looking for back post. Up over top for Ryden, trying to find his 5th of the season.
An excellent service from Justin Portillo there. Conrad Pluo made a great run to the back post. He gets on the end of it. He does what he's supposed to here. He heads it back across the goal. Kalen Ryan gets on the end of that, but sometimes when you get up, when you elevate to make that header, you head the ball on your way up, causing the ball to go over to the goal. You want to head the ball, you know, at its peak so you can get above it and head it down the way Guzman did on their goal in the first half. Great work by Conrad Pluo and Kalen Ryan. Unlucky that it wasn't a goal.
62nd minute substitution for the Monarchs. Andrew Brody coming on for Reese Williams. Monarchs going to try to continue defensively. And Brody's one of those guys that brings some offense from that outside back position as he gets his first touch. Finds Chang.
And you know what? Not only does he bring offense, but he's got a great relationship with Michael Chang.
Hoffman takes a shot. Deflection still kept in. Looking inside the box and cleared away. A handball there. No call there from as Guzman. Portillo should have been called for the foul as well.
That would have been an excellent professional foul by Portillo, but ref didn't see it.
I think there was a handball before it, so maybe both those negate each other.
Right? Karma. Things even out. Even Stevens.
Even Stevens. Not the television show, just Even Stevens.
And here you go. You already find Brody, you know, 60 yards up the field compared to, you know, where Reese Williams was. And look at the attacking difference that Brody's already making. He's only been in the game for 2 or 3 minutes.
What do you think 2 or 3 minutes as there's a foul called?
That's what a guy like Andrew Brody brings to the field for the Monarchs. He just defensively excellent defender, but attacking-wise, he gets himself forward and he makes things happen. And that's not to take away from Reese Williams, he's an excellent defender in his own right, but he doesn't bring that same attacking ability that Andrew Brody does.
The Monarchs needed an adjustment, and you know there's firepower on the bench for the Monarchs with Cashier, Lopez Espin, Charles. There's guys that can come on Mare, but electing to use a defender sometimes changes maybe the flow of things, allowing the guys that are on the field to see if they can find more service.
You already have offensive guys on the field, and you have a guy in a spot that doesn't bring much offense to you, but can you replace him and have the same defensive ability, but still bring an offensive side, which is what they've done with Brody.
Yellow card shown to Mike Seth. Free kick coming for the Monarchs. Inside the box, and a goal!
And is that Conrad Plua?
Conrad Plua with his first goal of the season.
What a finish by Conrad Plua. He finds himself in a great spot in the previous corner, finds himself in a great spot again on another excellent Justin Portillo ball, and guess what? This time he finishes it, and you know what? It's not a pretty finish, but you're a 6'4" center back. Nothing is pretty. We talked about this before. He uses whatever part of his body he needs to, and he gets it into the back of the net.
You'll get a replay look at this.
Look at that. He is falling to the ground, gets that long leg out there, just gets a foot on it, and it goes in. The first thing you do is put yourself in a good spot, and good things happen from that, and that's what he did.
Conrad Plua with his first goal of the 2018 campaign. Portillo with his 6th assist for the Monarchs.
You know what? At this rate, I think if I keep calling games for the Monarchs, Portillo could end up with about 25 assists this year.
Pekka, his night will be done as Rodriguez. Maxi Rodriguez is going to enter the match. First substitution for Darren Powell. And the Monarchs equalize things.
You know, the Monarchs, they earned that goal. They deserve that goal. They've kept that pressure on San Antonio for the last 10 minutes, and you know what? It paid off for them. Now, can they keep the foot on the gas pedal, keep applying that same pressure, and keep pushing San Antonio onto their heels?
And that's one of the things that really, we mentioned it, but Brody has brought to this game here in the last few minutes, that pressure here on the right side.
You know what? Not only has he brought that offensive ability, he's brought energy to the game for the Monarchs as well. Sometimes you just need that little spark to put you over the edge, and Brody has, you know, he's provided that since he's come into the game.
Gordon, he'll attack Ryden. Looking into the center of the park. Opportunity for Lang! And Lang finds the second of the night for San Antonio to take the lead again.
Excellent work from the San Antonio front three there. Gordon finds, you know, he picks that. It was the right idea from Kalen Ryan. He didn't execute it as well as he could have, and Gordon picked the pass off, drove forward, and then he found Lang in a good spot. And you know what? That's not an easy finish. Lang, he did a great, look at this. Oh, left foot, I'm just gonna curve it this side, inside the post here. That's a great finish from Lang. And you know what? Now the Monarchs, they didn't keep that focus for 5 minutes after their goal. Now they gotta pick it up again.
Monarchs down now 2-1 here in the 66th minute of play. Lang has to be the man of the match tonight so far. 2 goals, or excuse me, a goal and an assist, and 2 goals and 2 assists in 2 games.
And you know, one thing I saw from that replay was we talk about how Brody provides this offensive presence for the Monarchs, but sometimes when you have a player that does that, they find themselves far up the field and they're not able to get back when the ball is turned over in a bad spot. And that's kind of what happened to Andrew Brody there. Not his fault that the ball was turned over, but it was his guy that ended up scoring. But that's what happens when you have a guy that pushes forward as much as Brody.
Another corner kick coming from the Monarchs, 4th of the second half. Blake keeps it in. Blake takes a deflection. Handball being called. Adams just outside the area. Adams takes a shot. Confusion all over the place. I'd love to see a replay look. Might have been a handball inside the box. This will be a goal kick for San Antonio. I don't know that you can give a PK in a situation like that. Hit the hand, though.
100% you cannot give a penalty kick there. That hand is in a natural position. Yes, the ball hit it, but that hand's in a natural position at your side, so you cannot call a penalty kick there. As much as, you know, the Monarchs want it to be, I don't think you can call that a penalty kick.
Hand to ball, ball to hands. That's the conversation we have in a situation like that. Probably didn't know much about that, but it hit him in the arm.
I would like to see the rule change to the point where if the hand affects the play, I would like to see it be called a handball then. Because there, it affects the play, you know, and you can call it a handball. But if you say, oh, the hand's not in a natural position, then that puts you know, questions out there. Then is it a handball? Is it not a handball?
You can see the replay look there. I think the hard thing on a situation like how it's written now is almost anything, how do you know what's natural or unnatural? I mean, David Beckham's logo has his hands up in the air. Is that natural? For him, it might be, right? I get the natural part is they're saying if it's to your sides and kind of there, but
do they take the fact that you have, certain physiological movements of your body, that your hands are going to be in certain positions when your body moves? Do the refs take that into account, or is a natural position only at your side?
It's one of those questions that I think we'll always have. Cochran does a good job to keep it in. Cochran looking forward, and a nice ball there. Inside, opportunity for Gordon. He's wide, puts it up over the crossbar.
Oh, Gordon is going to be upset with himself when he goes back and looks at that. He had a great opportunity to really put this game out of reach, and he did not take it. Look at this. Great spot, right where you want one of your best players to be, and he unfortunately puts the ball over the goal.
It's an exciting match here in the 70th minute of play. Still 20 minutes of soccer left. And the Monarchs trying to see if they can level things up once again. Conrad Plua becomes the 15th Monarch to score this season. Big number there. Throw in for the Monarchs.
And unfortunately, we talked about Kalen Ryden with set pieces in the pregame. We should have talked about Conrad Plua because he gives you that big presence in the box, and it paid off for the Monarchs tonight.
Get an inside look on life on and off the field from a player's perspective every Wednesday evening in the latest edition of From the Pitch on USLsoccer.com. That's from the pitch. Chang, he'll settle. Back to Blake. Plua.
Excellent work under pressure there from Conrad Plua. He had that composure to turn back to his goalie and play the ball back to him. The first half, the Monarchs did not have that. Can they keep that going here into the last 20, 22 minutes of the game?
The middle of the park looks a little empty for the Monarchs. I don't know if there's something missing there. I don't know if it's the Sebastian Velasquez not being there, but it seemed empty in that possession as the Monarchs attack forward.
I think you're just missing that dynamic mobility of a Sebastian Velasquez. He always finds those little holes that are dangerous. And right now, you're not really seeing that from Jack Blake or Charlie Adams. They are great soccer players that connect well with Chandler Huffman and other players, but they're just not finding those little holes right now.
Cardoni puts it down, take his time. Get high and long. Ryden's under it. He'll head it forward.
And look at it. You see Kalen Ryden here. He's trying to marshal that back line. Can the back line stay with him? Get that line forward. Because if you get the back line forward, everybody else can get forward and create much more pressure on San Antonio. Also, it keeps San Antonio honest. Keeps those forwards to the point where, like, oh, you know what? We got to stay on side, so we got to stay with the line. And this starts to wear on a forward a little bit when they have to keep doing that.
Be out for a Monarchs throw-in. As Lang was getting instruction from the coaching staff of San Antonio. Sure mentioning something they're seeing from the side of the field. Something they may be mentioning is Brody's sitting a little higher. Right now he's back with his back line, but he sits higher, and that opens doors for guys like Lang on that left side.
You know what? When Brody pushes higher, it creates that channel in behind the defense for somebody like a Guzman to run into then, because he's one-on-one with Conrad Plua. If Brody's back there, it's not necessarily a one-on-one because Brody can still cover Plua, but if Brody's forward, then Guzman can make that run into the channel. And you know what? Maybe that's what they're telling Lang. But now Lang also has to play a little bit more of a defensive role to mark Brody.
Cochran goes forward, and there's that channel. Plua will stretch out wide to defend him. Looking back, stick. Guzman settles, still inside the 18. Plays it forward, settled. Opportunity.
We just talked about that channel. We said it was Guzman, but there it was Seth that made that. Sorry, it was Greg Cochran that made that run into the channel where Brody had left.
So you're seeing a replay look at that.
I think the Monarchs got very lucky here. That was a great chance for San Antonio, and it did not come off for them.
Brody going to get a run forward, too far in front of him. 74th minute of play. San Antonio leads 2-1 here at Zions Bank Stadium, trying to snap the Monarchs' undefeated record here in 2018.
The Monarchs have to keep pressuring San Antonio. This is their home field. They have to keep that pressure on San Antonio for the last 20 minutes of this game. They have to wear them down and try to break them down physically and mentally.
Chang looking. Back post Hoffman. Cardoni does a good job to come out.
You know, as good as a player as Hoffman is, I'm going to take Cardoni in the air every single time.
Hoffman's not a guy that's going to challenge for the... he'll challenge for those, but he's not necessarily going to win those. And that's a tough ball. You got a tall keeper like Cardoni who's capable of coming out and collecting. You want to find Hoffman's feet. He's a guy that likes to find it, likes to finish, and a heck of a finisher when he's able to see it in front of him.
Exactly. Play through him. Don't play the ball in the air to him because he's not that kind of striker. He wants to play soccer, so play the ball to his feet. That's how you're going to find chances for him.
Throw in for San Antonio. Ryden wins the header to Blake. Monarchs look like they're going to be making 2 quick substitutions to see if they can try to change this game. 75th minute. Down 2-1. Charles and Casher are going to be the second and third substitutions coming on for the Monarchs.
Get a little bit more offensive firepower into this game.
Portillo knocks it out. It'll be a throw-in for San Antonio.
You know, when you have guys like King and Hedrick back there, they're guys that are dominant in the air. They're physical presences. So are the Monarchs going to bring Charles on to try and counteract that physical presence that those guys present? Or are they going to go with two up top with Hoffman and Charles and try to let the two play off of each other?
Some decisions to be made for Hamas and Alave. Another throw-in as they get their final instructions from assistant coach Matt Glazer. Throwing just inside the Monarchs' half. Seth. Forward to Gordon. Gordon's going to go forward. Still with it at his feet. Just away from him a little bit.
Strong run from Gordon there.
Chang's trying to slip through. Cochran does a good job to win that one away from him. Lang.
And here's this channel where you find where Brody has left. And right now, San Antonio's been able to exploit that.
Blake doing some defensive work to get back. Guzman. Wide to Seth. San Antonio pressing, seeing if they can find the third goal.
As the ball goes forward here, can the Monarchs get their lines up? Keep closing those lines for the forwards to be able to apply pressure.
Back to Cardoni. He'll play it high. Straight up the center of the pitch. Ryden does a good job to win that one. But second ball won by San Antonio.
You know what? That's one area where I don't think the Monarchs have done as well as they usually do. Is Ryden and Plu have won a lot of first balls, but not a lot of second balls in the midfield.
San Antonio with another opportunity, just away from Presley. Hurd's going to get on his horse. He'll challenge King. King back, and he'll send it out the side of the stadium. I don't know if I've ever seen it out the side that high. It'll leave Zions Bank Stadium.
That ball could roll all the way to West Jordan from here.
Downhill. Kings played in all 25 matches this season for San Antonio. There's going to be a triple substitution. 1 for San Antonio, 2 for the Monarchs. Hoffman, his night will be done. Lang's on the ground. That's something to keep an eye on as the training staff will come on.
You know what? Lang has put in one heck of a shift tonight. Making those runs offensively, getting back defensively, playing in great balls from set plays. You know, he's tired right now. He doesn't have much left at this altitude, and I believe you're going to see Jose Escalante come on for him here.
You're going to see Josh Hurd leave the match, as well as Master Cashier will come on.
Can these two offensive subs for the Monarchs, can they bring a spark that the Monarchs need right now? Brody brought a little bit of a spark when he came on. Can these two new substitutions bring even more of a spark and lift the Monarchs?
You'll see the captain's armband be passed off to Justin Portillo. Escalante still waiting to come on. Escalante waiting for the official number to be put up on the board.
And it looks like Lang's night is over.
Lang's night will be done as he's still walking with the training staff. But so far, if the game ends this way, he has to be your man of the match.
He's definitely my man of the match as of right now. He has put in one heck of a shift, offensively, defensively, putting in great balls from set plays, and that's what you want to see from that player. But you know what? Even though Jose Escalante is coming on as a substitute, he is a very dangerous player. I actually played with him when I was with the Houston Dynamo, and he's that kind of guy that can take the ball coast to coast. He has that dynamic ability that the Monarchs have to be aware of.
Ball's inside the box, over the head of Chang. Chang gets it back to Brody. Brody trying to get around. Put in the box, pushed away. Charles still there. He'll take a shot into the side netting.
Well done.
And I just talked about when those guys come on that they have to make a difference, and Charles already putting himself in a dangerous spot. As you can tell here, doesn't get the first header, but he's Johnny on the spot, gets there for the bad play by San Antonio, and gets a good shot on goal.
Goal kick coming here from Cardone. Header up. It'll be a throw in for the Monarchs. Stay up to date with all the best from social media around the USL by watching Off the Post with Kelsey Steele every Friday evening on the USL social media channels. That's Off the Post with Kelsey Steele. Ryden, nice driven ball. Trying to find Chang. Chang plays it forward to Blake, but a difficult ball there. Portillo, nice challenge there to win it away. Monarchs going forward. Can they find the equalizer? Adams. Wide to Cashier. He gets his first touch of the night. And Adams is dispossessed. San Antonio going to try to go forward quickly. Monarchs look like they have a little more life here as 10 minutes are left in this one. Plus change.
And that's what you want when you bring on offensive subs like that. Give the team a little bit of life. Give them that spark they need as you go into the last 15 minutes here.
Brody. Defended well. Takes a deflection. Back post. Moberg. Looks like he got the last touch, and it'll be a goal kick for San Antonio.
I think it was a good sub for them to bring Charles on in place of Hoffman. You know, as good a player as Hoffman is, you know what? We go into the last 10 minutes here. San Antonio is going to start sitting back deeper and deeper, forcing the Monarchs to start crossing the ball. And you need that bigger presence in Charles in the box to get on the end of those crosses.
Charles making his second straight substitution appearance for the Monarchs. Excuse me, second appearance in 3 games, missing a midweek or an away game in Colorado. Blake plays it out wide to Chang. Monarchs attacking from this right side. Chang gonna try to cut in. Looking forward to Charles. Takes another deflection. Calls for handball from a few people. Don't think there was one.
That's gonna be tough to give the handball there.
A situation like that, you don't want to see a game really ultimately, decided by a penalty kick. I mean, sometimes you want to see get points, but
you wanted to see
ultimately you don't want to just be unlucky.
You want to see it be a legit penalty kick and not a questionable one.
Ball inside, cleared by Moberg. It'll be a throw-in for San Antonio. Still with 1 substitution left. Darren Powell. Maybe holding that to kill some clock. as Cochran slows things up.
Excellent gamesmanship from San Antonio right now. Kill the clock a little bit, slow the game down. Eat as much as that clock as you can, especially on the road.
That's a light challenge and a light foul if the foul was called. Cardoni's gonna come out. But there was a foul way back. The start of the attack as Blake was taken down. Plua. Your players chatting out on the field. A little bit of chatter.
Can the Monarchs push through their tired legs right now and get an equalizer here in the last 10 minutes?
Cashier, he'll keep it in. He'll switch it. Looking forward.
Communication between him and Chang there. Chang coming short, Cashier looking long, doesn't come off.
Cardoni will take the reset. He's going to milk the clock a little bit, as you would expect any keeper to do in a situation like this. Up 2-1 here at Zions Bank Stadium, trying to take the undefeated streak away from the Monarchs. 12-0-1 at home. Monarchs coming off a loss in their last game, though. This would be 2 consecutive losses, if so. Charles, he's forward. Charles, open net. He's on the touchline, keeps it in. Looking forward, no one there.
That's an excellent run by Charles in behind, but unfortunately, Cardone is, quick off his line to force Charles wide where he doesn't have an angle to shoot. So, great run by Charles, even better work by Cardone.
Good defense there by San Antonio, not allowing the Monarchs to go forward. Getting late. We're in this game, 85th minute of play, still 2-1 San Antonio. Monarchs throwing the kitchen sink forward here in the last few. And that's a lackadaisical pass.
Those are tired legs right there. Those are guys that, they're playing on a short week. Brody missed, wasn't feeling well before this game. Tired legs from both guys right there. They have to keep that focus, though, and fight through that mental tiredness here in the last 7 minutes.
We are throwing for the Monarchs. Plua quickly tries to take it. Monarchs going to try to open up the field. Moberg. Out wide to Cashier. Cashier still trying to get into this game. He'll cut in. Looking forward. Chang's open inside the 18. Defended by Cochran. Across the 6th. Adams. Heavy touch there from Adams. And those legs might be catching up with him. 2 little awkward touches or passes in a row from Adams.
100% those are heavy legs right there from Charlie Adams, because you very rarely see a touch like that from him. And I know when, tonight when he goes home and he's watching this game, he's going to be like, he's going to really want that one back.
Great defensive work there by Escalante to head it back to the keeper. 87th minute, still 2-1. Great USL action here, Zions Bank Stadium. We've got an exciting one. And sure to finish exciting here in these final few minutes and change. Be a throw in for the Monarchs.
The Monarchs
inside their own half.
They have to keep pushing here. We're down to the nitty-gritty of this game. They have to keep pushing. I know they're all tired. I know they're all frustrated with tonight, but you got to keep pushing. And I love hearing the encouragement from the San Antonio coach. He is pushing his guys on. They're tired. They've put in a great performance at altitude. He wants to see them. They deserve this win, and he wants to see them get it.
Great job by San Antonio. They're pushing forward. Cut off by Moberg. Portillo with a nice spin cycle. Ball up over top. Cardoni off his line. Chang inside the box. Slips. Still almost found it to the feet of Cashier.
But Hedrick on the spot again. Whether it's on the ground, whether it's in the air, he has been on every cross tonight, and that is a professional performance from him so far.
Plua. He'll go forward. Monarchs going to apply this pressure for the final few minutes.
And you see
Brody goes towards the touchline, puts it across the 6. Cashier just does not get fully through that one and puts it wide. Goes out for a throw-in, though.
The Monarchs will take that.
Looks like it had enough spin that it's going to go out just in front of the corner flag for a throw-in. Monarchs players mentioning to Marcos de Oliveira to add on some time as this is being milked by San Antonio. Some gamesmanship here. 89th minute of play. Headed around, still up in the air. And King's gonna blast it forward.
Excellent work from Conrad Plua to keep possession of a clearance like that. That's what the Monarchs need as they go into the last 5 minutes here. Keep possession so they can keep getting good chances.
Cashier looking back stick. I don't know if that was a shot or a cross. Low-lying cross just on the back corner of the 6. It'll go out for a goal kick.
Cross shot, whatever it is, sometimes you just have to hit that ball towards the back post. You hit it just right, it might squeeze in between the goalie and that back post. If you don't, you might find the opposite side winger getting on the end of it.
Plua, he'll win the header. Forward to Blake. Challenge in the midfield. Gets knocked around a little bit. Brody's out of position now.
I think
Brody doesn't have the legs.
I think you're starting to see those tired legs from him being sick all week.
That's tough. Gordon's going to keep it in. He's in the corner. Smart move there to take some time away.
He is going to be a tough man to get off that ball. He is a very powerful player, and when he holds it up, it's going to be tough to get it off from him. He wasted a good 30 seconds there.
Monarchs doing a good job to get it cleared away. Charles goes down, no foul called, 4 minutes of stoppage announced.
These are the big leagues. You got to be a little bit stronger than that. You know, Hedrick, he's a veteran. He's been in this league a while. This is your 3rd game. You're not going to get that call. I want to see him hold that ball up. Be strong. Be powerful. Be the person that he is out there. Hold that ball up for us.
Monarchs need to win the second ball and have not done so tonight. Gordon looks like he was going to try to take a shot there.
I'm pretty sure he was going for the shot there. Grinos was off his line, and Gordon saw that.
Blake, nice little dummy to get the ball away.
Those are tired legs right there.
Underdriven.
Beginning of the game, he's getting that ball to Cashier out there.
Portillo out wide to Cashier. Monarch's going to throw everything forward. Takes it a flexion, and it'll be a corner kick for the Monarchs. First minute of stoppage unofficially is through. We're in the 2nd minute here of 4 added. Monarchs down 2-1. Corner kick coming here from Portillo. Everybody forward. Last men for the Monarchs just on top of the 18, excuse me. Brody's gonna hold it in. He'll look to play it back in the mix. Ryden got a header, but really too far away from goal.
Back to that corner kick. When you have everybody in the box like that, the last thing you want is to hit it short like that. It completely negates everybody you have in the box, and it just does not present a good opportunity. That's you either hit it perfectly or you hit it long so that you can still get somebody on the end of it, because you cannot get somebody that short on a corner, but you can get somebody long behind the back post. Little miscommunication between Kalen Ryan and Portillo allows San Antonio to get in behind on this goal kick.
Gordon. Moberg wins it away from him. Wide to Ryden. Through in the 3rd minute of stoppage unofficially. Cochran kind of awkward there. And Cardoni comes rushing forward. He'll play it forward into the bench of San Antonio. Ball's still on the field.
As the goalie there, and when you're in that scenario, you are clearing that ball no matter what, even if you have to clear your own defender with the ball. So great work by Cardoni.
Substitution being made here from San Antonio. Gordon's going to take his sweet Sweet time to cross the field.
He put in a shift. He deserves to walk off the field.
Kyle Murphy, 6-foot forward out of Clemson, will come on to this match. He's played in 12 games, 5 games started, 476 minutes played. Murphy getting final instruction from head coach Darren Powell in that into the 4th minute. 3 minutes of stoppage into the 4th minute. Throw in for the Monarchs. No one's there. Chang. And Escalante puts some muscle there on Chang. And it'll be a throw in for Cochran in San Antonio.
Yeah, you're starting to see some tired guys out here tonight for the Monarchs. They've had a lot of games in a short period of time recently, and you're starting to see that effect on them.
Good win there from Rodriguez. Monarch's going to throw it forward.
Great heads-up play by Grin was there to get the ball out of his hands quick and eliminate 4 or 5 San Antonio players. Unfortunately, the Monarchs could not keep hold of that excellent start to possession.
That's where you're just feeling like the Monarchs are missing that little bit. As there's going to be an opportunity here. Guzman inside the 18. Still inside the 18. Into the side netting. And my goodness. Tangles up inside the 18. Maybe could have been a yellow card. And might I say a red card shown. There was a little tug from behind as Guzman went inside the 18.
Kalen Ron's definitely lucky there.
Monarchs and going to go forward. There can't be much left in this one. Chang, he'll cut in. Looking forward to Blake. Out wide to Moberg. We've got to be at the death of this one. Blake, he'll take a shot. Low driven and takes a deflection. And that's full time here at Zions Bank Stadium, and the Monarchs are going to fall for the first time ever here at Rio Tinto Stadium to San Antonio, and the 2nd time in the 2018 season.
Well, I guess the San Antonio is still undefeated against the Monarchs. You know, I thought it would end tonight on the Monarchs home field, but San Antonio put in an excellent professional performance from, you know, the first minute all the way to the last here. They deserve the win.
And that's one of the ways that you move into the playoff picture tonight with the 3 points, moves into that 8th seed for San Antonio in a spot they'd like to keep, obviously, but puts the Monarchs also in an awkward position with a win Wednesday night. Phoenix Rising has an opportunity to jump up in front of the Monarchs.
It really does, and as we wind down here and there's only a couple games left in the regular season, that's when you want to be playing your best soccer going into the playoffs. And, you know, San Antonio, they're heating up right now. Monarchs, you know, they're still figuring things out a little bit. You know, this is when they need to start heating up, because as you saw last year, great during a regular season for the Monarchs, but that first round that they were in, they lost. You know, can they get to the playoffs and get beyond that first round?
And sometimes, you know, it takes a wake-up call. Teams get hit in the mouth, 2 games, 2 losses, not what the Monarchs wanted to see, but sometimes those are those wake-up moments where teams realize we got to step it up, or something's going to happen to us and we're not going to accomplish the goals we have.
Definitely, and you'd rather that happen in the regular season like this than in the first round of the playoffs.
And last year, I think that's where the Monarchs really got hit in the teeth. They didn't have those challenges during the season that were really trying to them. They came at the end of the season, and that's where the Monarchs really needed to figure things out, and they weren't able to do so because there was no games further on. But here they've got a chance. They've got some games. They're headed down to Texas to play RGV, and they have a chance to right the ship, try to change things, try to reset things, and come forward and get some points.
Definitely, and I've played with these guys. I've played underneath these coaches this year. Every single one of these guys, they're going to go home, and they're going to watch their performance, and they're going to say, what could I have done better for the team tonight? The coaches, they're going to go home, they're going to be like, what could I have done different to prepare these guys? And that's what I love about this group of guys and this group of coaches, is that it hurts when they lose, and they want to make it better. They want to fix what they did wrong, and that ultimately is what's going to make them successful.
Let's check out the upcoming matches for the Monarchs, as their schedule is a tough one, not as tough as it could have been. San Antonio was the real test, and it proved to be a challenge for them tonight as they fall 2-1. But next at Rio Grande Valley, which is a very winnable game, but a tough challenge. Then back home here against St. Louis. Then on the road for 2 tough games, one tough game at Orange County, then the Galaxy 2, then back here at home versus Colorado Switchbacks, who you lost to last week. So some challenges for the Monarchs, and really a schedule that has a little bit of everything. Some away games, some home games, some challenges, some weaker opponents, but you have to get 3 points the rest of the way almost.
Exactly. You know, even though Rio Grande Valley may not be as tough an opponent, it is not an easy place to play. You know, it's hot there. You know, it's a far way to travel. So can the Monarchs go there, put in a professional performance on the road against a team that may not be the same quality as them? And then a couple weeks later, you go on the road against a team, I believe OC's in second place right now, correct?
Third place.
So, you know, they're going to go on the road against a team that's a very good team. So once again, it's going to be another test for them against a good team on the road. So can they learn from these experiences, whether it's good or whether it's bad, and then take those experiences into the playoffs with them?
And that's all she wrote here at Zions Bank Stadium. San Antonio with the 2-1 victory over the Monarchs to snap the unbeaten streak from our wonderful team that makes things happen here at Zions Bank Stadium. David Horst, Landon Southwick, and we'll sign off, catching you next time here as the Monarchs will go on the road and then back home in a couple weeks.
Dixon Johnson! You've got to be kidding me! Oh!
Jesus Enriquez does it again!
And what a world-class goal that is from Didier Drogba!
Oh!
Must-see TV.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.